Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer. It's the Tier 4 German tank destroyer, and it's located on the south spawn of Fjords, and it's being driven by the raging tanker. Okay, now what can I tell you about this little tank destroyer? Well, it's based on the chassis of the Panzerkampfwagen 38T, which is also based on the same chassis used by the Czech Light Viz 38. So it's built in Czechoslovakia, and it's a little terror. Because if you're gonna Hetz, you're gonna Hetz. Now it's got sloped armour which can deflect most shells that are aimed at it. The gun's actually on one side of the vehicle, and that means it's got a better arc of fire on one side than it has on the other side. Because the actual body of the tank gets in the way of deflecting the gun further to the left. But it can turn to the right quite effectively. The driver's actually seated on the right side, or left side of the vehicle, right next door to the gunner. Okay, now he's got a firing position. There's an enemy tank, M2 medium, lining up a shot. And he's out the game straight away, kills the M2 medium. He's using the 105mm gun, so he's only got 20 rounds of ammunition. He's using mostly HE. He's got half and half. Okay, he was spotted there, so he's pulled back, relocating. I'm hoping he's going to take up a position here and kill any of the enemy tanks that come through the gap. Actually, he's pulling forward. Now, the weak point of the Hetzer is actually the side armour and the rear. Very, very weak armour at the rears. So you want to keep your front to the enemy if you can. Oh, just hit that Valentine for 75 hit points. When you pull away from an enemy tank, you don't really want to show your sides because he can put a round into the sides. You want to present your front at all times. And you don't want an enemy teammate coming up behind you and blocking you like that Panzer 38T is. Puts a round into the Valentine. The Valentine's mostly firing APCR at him. He got 61 hit points off that shot, 93 off the previous one, and that Panzer 38T is still blocking him from the rear, so he can't pull back. But he's waiting for that tank to come into view, and that M2 keeps going through the field of fire. Oh, fires around in that time. Gets the Striv, or no, the Stuart rather, for 139. There's the Valentine. He's loaded. Go for the lower plates. Fires around in. This time round he gets 60. There's not much left on that Valentine. Fires another round in. Kills him. 91 hit points. That's giving the M2 medium a bit of confidence. He pulls forward, but he takes a hit from the Stuart. Right, now, Raging Tanker goes forward, derps the Stuart. Out the game, that's his third kill. Now, the M2's trying to cut him off. He doesn't want that because he wants the near side of the wall. Okay, he's moving forward. There's a couple of enemy tanks ahead of him, T-29 and T-56 GMC. That's the tank destroyer, the American tank destroyer. Can you get a look at them? Not yet, the rock's in the way. You should be able to see them very shortly. So you've got to pull around the rock, keep using the bush. There's the T-56. Going for the T-29 first. More difficult, dangerous enemy. T-56 saw him, fired a round in. In fact, yeah, he got him in the tracks. Pulling forward to get the T-56. Wipes him out. That's his fifth kill. 87 hit points. It's up to 681 now. There's a T-46. Oh, wrong place to go, Mr. T-46. Takes him out of the game, gets his top gun. 65 hit points that time. You can see it reloads fairly quickly, 7.42 seconds. But that can be quite crucial because that's quite a long time at this tier. You don't really want to be waiting when the enemy can put 2 rounds into you. Lines up the MTLS, got him by the rear. 1 round into him, kills him straight away, and it's a heat round, so that's expensive. He's loaded, 8 rounds to go. There are only 5 enemy remaining. He's got 7 kills. He can't get a Radley Walters, he's at tier 4, but he can certainly accumulate a number of kills. Moving forward gingerly. We know it's an enemy Arty, and it's probably going to be near the cap area. He might be moving within view range of that Arty if he carries on. But he spotted the enemy looks, and the enemy looks is headed to his cap area. There's the enemy Arty. Okay, the M7 Priest. There's 6 enemy remaining. He's killed 7 of them already, so he's already almost killed half of the enemy team. This is one hell of a carry. The enemy looks is actually behind him and heading in the opposite direction. I don't think he realised that or spotted the raging tanker. And he really should pay attention to his mini-map, but I think if that looks driver didn't see the raging tanker, that would explain why he's out looking for him at the moment. Oh my god, that Panzer 1C is turned over. What a pity. And he's dead. That's the 8th kill. He would get a Radley Walters, but they don't award Radley Walters under tiers 5. Oh, that wrecks in the way, the M3. Now they're capping. Got 2 in the cap at the moment. Now, I don't think they'll be capping for long. Yeah, one of them's just been taken out. He's got an enemy Hetzer and a Panzer 3. He was seen. Takes out the Hetzer. Got him in the rear for 22 hit points. There's another one round the corner. He's got 9 kills. That's the enemy Arty. He's being dealt with by the Locust. We just lost the Panzer 38T who was in the cap. That was the guy who was blocking the raging tanker earlier. Right, we've got the Lux and we've got the Hetzer, the Panzer 3E rather. And he fired at both of them but missed. And he's only got 5 rounds of ammo now. And the problem is that that Lux has got the 30mm cannon. He can easily go through the armour of the Hetzer. Now this is the time that he needs that Locust to come help him. He's teasing the enemy, pulling away so they can't see where he is, but keeping that direction in view. He can't get good gun depression unless he goes over the cliff face. That looks pulled up. We just lost the Locust. So that's unfortunate. There's the Lux. Oh, made a classic error. Pulled away. I gave him a shot. 102 right into the rear. There's the Panzer 3E. Wipes him out. 88 hit points. Wins the battle. Gets the high caliber. Wow. They made some classic errors. So both of those tanks, the Lux and the Panzer 3E, they exposed themselves without any risk of a reward at all. Effectively, the raging tanker had his front to them at both times, and the Lux should never have turned around and pulled away from the rock the way he did. Whilst he was teasing the Hetzer, the Panzer 3E could have got round behind him and put some shots in, but what they actually did in the end was classically allowed the raging tanker to take them out by shooting into their rear, and that was a beautiful end to the battle. 11 kills, 11, but no Pools medal, no Radley Walters, because they don't allow it. And this is the result. It's an ace tanker for the raging tanker in the Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, incapacitations or module damage. He got 12 in that battle. He also picked up a duelist medal for doing killing 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle, and also a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle overall. And lastly, a Top Gun, because you do get a Top Gun if you get more than 6 kills under tier 5. But sadly, no Pools medal, no Radley Walters, because it's a tier 4 battle. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, highest damage, 1,379 hit points. He wasn't the only one who survived. The Cruiser Mark II on his team also survived. but he didn't do any damage at all. He sat back in the cap, doing absolutely nothing all battle long. He managed to get 11 kills during that battle. That's more than double the highest score on the enemy team, which was the looks, funnily enough. Managed to get 5, and he got 1,196 base XP. It's again nearly double that scored by the looks. He also fired 17 rounds during that battle. Remember, he only carried 20 rounds of ammo, half and half on heat and standard HE. But he fired 17 of them, left himself with just 3 heat rounds at the end. He got 15 direct hits, 15 penetration, 1 splash damage, did damage of 1,379 hit points in total. He received 6 hits from the enemy, 2 were penetration, 4 were non-penetration, and those are at heavy corner in the southeast corner of the map, where the enemy kept, the Valentine kept firing through at him. They were just bouncing off his armor, so he wasn't really suffering anything from them. 2 penetration rounds though, unfortunately. He blocked damage of 110 hit points. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles. He damaged 11 of the enemy. He killed 11 of the enemy. On a standard account, rather, he did 16,811 credits, received 16,811. And after repair and ammunition resupply and consumables, he actually suffered a loss of 15,949. Now, the reason for this is he did use at least 7 rounds of heat ammunition, and that heat ammunition is rather expensive. So if he'd actually had standard HE, he might not have had such a great effect on those one-shot kills, but he probably would have earned a lot more in the way of credits. But he might have got low on ammunition at the end of the game, making it difficult for him to kill the looks and the Panzer IIIe. So maybe that was about the right mix. He received 1,196 base XP, but it was ×2 for the first victory of the day, so he actually ended up with 2,392 XP in total. But I think this was a marvellous carry if you think about it. 11 kills in a game. The most I've ever killed is 10, and I've done it on more than one occasion. But to kill 11 in a game with a tank destroyer at under tier 5, and to get nothing, no other medals other than the ace tanker, the high caliber, and the Top Gun. I do feel for you, Raging Tanker. It's such a disadvantage not to get those rewards, but you carried this battle, man. You really did carry it, so congratulations on doing that. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.